racing points here. Tonight we will be driving around a track that many people might find boring. A track filled to the brim with 90-degree corners, but one that I can promise that will deliver some great racing as we are in points here. And if you haven't guessed already, or else haven't read the stream title, we are of course driving around the Sochi Autodrome here tonight. But before we get started, my name is Carol and please welcome my co-commentator Jamie.
Hello everybody, hope you're doing well. Yeah, this Sochi circuit, it's a modern circuit. It was introduced in Formula 1 in 2004. It's a 5.8 kilometre circuit or 3.6 miles. And the tyre wear around here is quite low. We've got 15 laps on the C4, 22 on the C3 and 30 on the C2 with 1.3 second gap between the C4 and C3 tyres and a 0.6 second gap between the C3 and C2. And there's 18 corners, 6 left-handed, 12 right-handed, 27 laps, 2 DRS zones. It's a clockwise track and the pit loss around here is 14.5 seconds. In one hub race I've had 13 races over 7 seasons around this circuit.
Yeah, it's going to be a very interesting affair tonight, especially with our two championship rivals. But going back to the tyre situation, low tyre wear, and I imagine it's going to be an easy to stop soft mediums, or medium soft somewhere, but 100% with 2 softs and 1 medium.
Yeah, the hard tyre is a bit used around there. The hard tyre can do the whole race by itself, so them hard tyres should not be seen tonight.
Yeah, they really shouldn't, and the racing and track limits, they will be a big issue here tonight, especially turn 1 and 2, and that will definitely be a challenge. It's a very tight corner, heavy braking zone, so you might see a lot of penalties tonight.
Yeah, and in fact, there was a question out on the previous interview as well, how many corner cuts is too many around here? And Jordan says too many is getting disqualified. So, and I think if you get disqualified, you get over 30-second penalty. So hopefully Jordan will not be in that range. And well, I don't think we'll get disqualifications, but I think we might see penalties within the 10, within 12, 15-second range. That could be a possibility around here, and that can really shake the race finish in order.
Yeah, whoever will not get those penalties, I think, might end up winning. I know Thomas and Kilplane, they're really good on not getting penalties, while people such as aero specialists, they tend to get a lot of penalties, so he'll be looking out for that one.
Yeah, he was, for sure. And obviously you missed 2 cracking races last week. Obviously you did catch up on them. What were your thoughts on the 2 races you missed?
They were very entertaining, I must say. I was rewatching them today in bed, and I was surprised by the Barcelona one. It was a really good race, and then the Monza, it was absolute chaos at the end. And just in case you missed it, I know I did, I'm gonna run you through the results for last week's race. It was Lawrence Z who ended up winning the Grand Prix after a post-race penalty. Kilplane came home in second after avoiding an incident late on in the race. Epic Scorpion finished the race in third, and True NRP just missed out on the podium. ERT Thomas, after getting a penalty, fell down to 5th place, followed by just Mikey behind. Gazaman picked up 6 points at the end of the race, and then the Williams of Quinnett finished in 8th position. A big incident on the second last lap between Trunders and Dex Exeter demoted them to 9th and 10th. Just outside the top 10 was Alfa Romeo's Hooky, and in the last points weighing position was Sully. Kilplane got the fastest lap point inside the top 10, and outside of it, it went to Bryn Mike. Pole position for the race went to Scorpion, and driver of the day at the end of the day was ERT Thomas.
Yeah, that driver day was nominated before we knew about the stewards' penalties. In fact, the hot and cold list was, I presume, was written before the stewards' list, because Thomas got the hot driver for saying he's back on form, extending his championship lead, but he isn't running away with it. But staying calm when not on course is key. But obviously, as we found out, he didn't keep it calm. He got a penalty, and that means we've got a new championship leader.
Yeah, that new championship leader is Kilplane, and I was surprised to see him up there, I must say. Start of the season, it was very quiet for him, very consistent driver, I was saying how he resembled Liboa Vitinho for me from podium tier last season. I mean, he turned that completely upside down with 2 wins. So fair play to him.
Yeah, last week he was a bit off colour. He didn't really qualify that well, and in the race he wasn't really on the pace. But what he did what all good drivers do. He kept it out of trouble. He managed to avoid penalties and avoided all the cans at the end, and he got a second place. It was looking like he was likely to finish about 8th or 9th for the safety car. So that's what you call a really good damage limitation race for the Estonian in the AlphaTauri.
And I'm gonna run you through the standings to catch up on everyone else after the race. And things have changed at the top of the standings, as I mentioned. Kilplane takes the lead heading into round 8 tonight. Thomas sits close behind him, only 3 points separating them. Lawrence D is in third on 75 points, and Yerty Jordan comes in behind him. Scorpion is in 5th, and the Red Bull of Truth is in 6th position, just 1 point separating the pair. 7th place goes to Aero Specialist. Dex Sexer in 8th, the Danish driver, picking up 43 points so far, followed by Gazaman and Trunders. In 11th, we see Mikey, who is just ahead of Astronauty and Quinniff, who are tied on 24 points. The first Alfa Romeo of Bryn Mike is in 14th, with the second Alfa trailing close behind. RNJS sits on just 4 points this season, with Matthias behind him, who is on 3 points. 18th is Sully, who picked up his first points last week, and then Giggle and David round off the grid with 0 points to their name this campaign.
Yeah, they're looking to get off the mark this week. I believe David's not here this week, but yeah, quite late this season not scoring points, and you have to say it's not good, but with 12 guys scoring points, they just got to stay in there, hope for the best, and with only 16 drivers tonight, there might be a good possibility of Giggle getting the points tonight.
Yeah, we might see that. 16 drivers, as you mentioned, in low numbers, so it's a higher chance, and you only need 4 retirements, and you're going to be in the points.
Yeah, it was a dry qualifying session, which you could see. Obviously, last week in Monza, we did have that rain, which did actually sort of dry, which did get dry at the end. But we've got a really bright sunshine around here, and this Sochi track. The real highlight of Sochi for me is turn 3. That is probably the highlight of the track, because it's a high-speed corner, and there's possibility to see cars go side by side through that corner.
Yeah, hopefully we don't see any Valtteri Bottas, Kimi Raikkonen situation going into turn 4, but if we get to see an overtake around, turn 3, it will be amazing to see.
Yeah, it will for sure. We've got a few guys out close laps already, and as I mentioned, obviously, yeah. What's your thoughts on this circuit? Do you think? A lot of drivers in the previous interviews are not a great fan of this circuit, but I think it's better in the league racing in real life, because you can see, because of the long straights, you can see some good racing around here, but it's so easy to make a mistake, especially in that final sector, because the walls do come very close. So I won't expect to see a few incidents tonight, but I think we could see some good racing, as I've seen all season long.
Yeah, I mentioned in the start that we will probably see some decent racing, at least compared to real life. I mean, I am on Hookie's side. Hookie said that it deserves to be on the calendar. It has everything, braking zones to chicanes and medium speed corners, and I completely agree with him. For league racing, I think it's an amazing track. It challenges the driver, especially with the track limits, and then we have 2 overtaking opportunities. I say the one into turn 1 is a lot more realistic compared to the one heading into the sector 2 split, but yeah, I think we could see a surprise here compared to what everyone else is thinking.
Yeah, well, Quinniff is not a fan of this circuit. He mentioned I don't think it does deserve a place in the calendar. The racing is quite boring, and being honest, he doesn't see many opportunities. So we'll see who is right. And actually, if we mention the weather, Gazza in the chat, our weatherman, has mentioned the wet start to the race. It's going to be a dry mid-race, a dry finish. So we're going to see a bit of intermediate running at the start of the race. So that might mix things up a little bit, and it might make the start of the race a little bit chaotic.
And they'll definitely spice things up as Astronauty has spawned at the entrance of turn 1. So that's him without a front wing. And just Mikey has joined the session, so he'll be here for the race.
Yeah, he'll start at the back of the grid, of course, and he's racing in the Renault, but it may assign him to a different car, so we'll keep an eye on that. But he's racing for the Renault team tonight, as you've got Matthias, who's doing a really quick first sector, but I believe he's invalidated his time, so that will not count. So we'll go with Quinniff, who, as I mentioned last week, could have had a podium last week, and he's crossed the line here, and yeah, Quinniff's a driver who's actually running less assists than he has done recently. He's turned them assists off, and I think we saw in Monza the benefit of running less assists, because he was running a lot quicker in the field, he's a lot more consistent, and if you master no assists, you are a lot quicker in the game, as Kilpane, our championship leader, sets the pole lap on a 1:30.9.
Yeah, Trunders, his teammate, 31.7. Hooky now splits the pair. He's in second position, and I imagine we'll see a lot of jumbling up of the order right now, as the drivers will be setting their banker lap times. I think Epic Scorpion, he is on his out lap, he just started his lap, so it's going to be important for him. No tow for him just yet. We might see some team play happening. I don't think his teammate is here. No, he isn't, so I don't think he'll be getting a tow unless it happens to be a Bottas Verstappen type situation like we saw in Drive to Survive.
No, it isn't. Drive to Survive, I think, just sometimes dramatise them things, but yeah, it's quite a good thing to get involved in F1, as True NIP has left the session, so hopefully he can rejoin us. True NIP had a good race last week, and he won round 1, and his form has dripped recently, but I think last week was a solid race for him. He definitely got back in form. He's not in a championship battle, but he might still be able to hold himself back in that battle for third place. If Lawrence, the guy in third, not racing time, that gives the likes of drivers behind him, the likes of Jordan, Scorpion and Truth, the opportunity to close that gap to third place, which will give you a trophy and a £5 PSN or Amazon voucher. So it's well worth it fighting for third place in this championship.
Yeah, I wanted to mention Red Bull's situation. I mean, it was not it was good at the start, but it's not the best now. They really fell off. I thought they were going to be championship contenders at the start of the season, but it just all fell off.
Yeah, this guy's a man. This is validate this lap, so he's going to go again. I've noticed there's been a lot of invalidated laps. It's not surprised because the track limits, especially around turn 1, are so tight. So a lot of guys are getting their validations. So we've done almost 7 sets. We've done over 7 minutes of session. We've got 5 lap times on the board so far. So these guys are going to have to keep in track limits, because he can't. Because we may see a lot of guys at battle grid really under pressure on their final run if they don't get a lap in on the next run.
I always wanted to imagine this track with just grass and gravel around it, because I think it would be an amazing track if it did have it, because the drivers would just not be extending the track limits. Like, for example, at Monza, gravel trap at the exit of the second chicane, nobody's going wide there because they're just going to lose time.
You know, it was Epic Scorpions on the lap. Obviously, I posted it last week. Got pulled by over 1 second in the wet conditions. Monza, how are they doing the dry conditions? The first sector is not too bad. A couple of tenths off kill plane, but this might. I think it's good to get a time board so far. But it's middle sector where you gain a lot of time. As GF3 Jones put a really good first sector in, so we start to see lap times coming now. What's your second sector? Scorpions purple sector 2 is 2 tenths quicker than the kill plane. This may, if he nails the final sector, he may leapfrog the Alpha Tauri man and jump into pole position. That's how he does this quite difficult final sector. It's quite technical section. You've got to get your braking right and your turning right. Looks good though for him. To go to your final 2 corners, it's so easy to validate this final corner, all run wide, which will cost you time. But he's doing it quite well, and I think this is going to be very close to pole position. I reckon he cuts the corner there, but gets away with it. What's it going to be? It's third place. So he lost a bit of time in the final sector, so he's over half a second behind kill plane. So not the best final sector for Scorpion.
It definitely could have been better, and just Mike is on that lap. He's heading into the very 90-degree-ish third sector, and now up the hill. It's a big elevation in real life, but you can't really see it on the game, sadly. And now going into the double right-handers. So let's see what Just Mikey can do first right-hander, fourth gear, then drops down into second gear to get the turn in right, and it's 7th position for the Renault man with 9.5 minutes remaining on the clock.
His teammate Jordan put a really good lap in second place. Jordan obviously had the incident lap 1 and his car was a ghost rest of the race, so he wasn't able to score points, but Jordan's looking back on form again. Obviously he got his inaugural podium in Catalonia. He's looking to really reunite his challenge for 3rd place in the championship. His Astronauts on lap, I believe. That's Astronaut who got pole on his debut in this tier, but ever since then hasn't really shown anything. Of course, I know what it's going to be. It's 4th place. Again, only about 2 and a bit tenths off pole, so the front 4 are really close together. They're separated by about 3 tenths, so a nice competitive front 4 there. So that's good to see, as Gigo, I believe, is going to finish lap. Obviously, he's yet to score any points this season. He'll be looking to break his duck this week. Obviously, he struggled a bit on his return to league racing. I think maybe a bit of rust showing for the Racing Point man, and he comes down his final DRS straight. Obviously, this is he's looking quite good though. This lap's looking solid for him. Maybe just good to get a banker lap in, and maybe try and go again later on.
Yeah, and while qualifying is important, I must say pole position won't be the most important thing around this track. It's a really long run up to turn 1, 890.6 meters to be precise, and yeah, I must say maybe even getting a tow at the back of pole position might be really good, because it's a bit of a pain situation that someone will get alongside you unless you get a blistering start.
Yeah, we saw that in 2019. I believe it's Sebastian Vettel. He started 3rd on the grid, and he got the launch off the back of the Mercedes and went to the lead, much to Charles Leclerc's annoyance, as Gigo goes to 10th place. So yeah, we could see that slipstream opportunity into turn 1. And once I see 3 or 4 cars wide, and obviously turn 1. It's turn 2 technically, because obviously that kink's technically turn 1, but at this apex it tightens up, so I will probably see a few cars going on that runoff area in the chicane, because it's quite a long run and it's quite a slow, tight chicane, and you do tend to see cars concentrating up into that chicane.
Yeah, it's now Lawrence in the chat saying good luck guys. He is not racing here tonight because he is on holiday. Enjoy your holiday, mate. I mean, it's not the best for your championship situation, but I imagine the holidays is going to be pretty nice. So, I mean, enjoy that, but we're here to commentate over the racing. 6.5 minutes remaining, and most of the drivers have 10 lap times. Brid Mike, he has a qualifying ban, so he won't be setting any lap times here tonight. And yeah, 6.5 minutes left. I must say I'm just waiting for the drivers to be going out on their last lap times now.
It's quite a bit of a moment in the final chicane now, isn't it? It's getting really leery. That no assist, maybe he's trying to learn no traction, maybe not quite massed it there. He's going to finish up now. What can this be for him? He's gets set lap timer, so jumping up wherever it's. So he's 10th, 9th place, but I think there's some time left as Jordan's left the session. Obviously, he had connection issues last week, so hopefully he can resolve that. And Aero Specialist, interesting enough, has not set time. Now, we've seen this a few times this season, Aero Specialist. He has started at the back of the grid. I wonder if this is tactical for him. Maybe starting at the back of the grid. You see, maybe do a last to first, but yeah, Aero Specialist, I don't think it's been out yet. So this is quite interesting for the McLaren man. Obviously, McLaren are in this constructors fight, but Aero Specialist, we know Lawrence this week. Congratulations on the win last week, Lawrence, but we know Lawrence this week, then he has to really get some points. And starting at the back of the grid, it's not good. You can get involved in a lot of instances there.
Yeah, True Fan RP jumps up to 5th, and Jordan just said his game crashed, so that's unfortunate. Hopefully we'll see him back in the race. Yeah, and he is back now, so that's good news for him.
Trunders is on a good lap here. He's improving the first and second set. Just going to improve by a couple of attempts. This may jump him into top 5, and he was in the press conference this week, or the driver's press conference. One driver does get called up to press conference. He was asked, you could still finish anywhere in the stands. Is your goal to stay in top 10, or where do you believe you'll finish? And he said his goal is to finish as strong as he can after a difficult start at mixed results. The first podium in Spain was a huge weight off his shoulders, and he showed he could hang it with the big boys. And he also felt last week he could have had a good result, but obviously he was involved in that incident with Mike, who got a 20-second penalty for that, so that really affected his chances. And he wants some good results because he thinks AlphaTauri can leapfrog Mercedes in the Constructors' Championship fight.
They really could, and if they both perform, because Dex Dexter, yeah, really has been in the shadow of Thomas. They could pull it off, in my opinion. Now, most of the drivers are in the pits. Now we see them coming out the pits. And yeah, ERT Thomas, he went provisional pole position, 1 minute 30.867. I imagine this lap will be broken, especially if nobody invalidates their lap time. And yeah, we'll see who will get pole, because it's really a lottery right now.
Yeah, Kilplane's out for Astronaut. He's on a flying lap, I believe. So see how the Williams man does. Obviously, he had that we mentioned earlier, that really good start to life in the points tier. Since then, he hasn't really shown anything. Not a few incidents, but the Williams look like a strong pairing now of Quinnif and Astronaut. They look to have a good end of the season, as he's come up to a lot of traffic, a lot of guys in outlaps, and this may affect him. But no, he's doing a really good first sector, purple first sector. He's just edged Killplay in the first sector. Now, he might benefit from a bit of a toe down this straight, but maybe that car is holding up. No, he gets out the way nicely, so no distraction there for Ashnaughty. How's he looking here? He's looking quite solid so far. We'll get the second sector marking down the end of the straight. Matthias gets out the way nicely for the Williams man. Now, where do you get your breaker for this corner? It's quite difficult to use the wall on the inside, and you've got to really nail it. It's so easy to run deep here, but no, does it quite well. Improves on his second sector time. This could be quite close to pole position. He gets a really good farm sector. He could lower the benchmark here. Runs a little bit deep there. Gets a nice second apex though. I wonder if this will get him on pole position. Only 2 more corners to go.
2 corners to go. Last corner now goes into third gear. Fourth gear quickly, and that is provisional pole position, 1 minute 30.729. So it's a very good lap time from Astronauti. I'm not sure if that will be enough for pole position. We'll have to wait and see, as Killplane, now championship leader, he goes across the line to start his flying lap. I imagine a lot of these drivers will be starting their flying laps. CRT Thomas, he just comes out the pits, so he's going to be on his out lap. He pulls in behind Killplane, so I doubt there will be any controversy there between the two of them. We'll have to wait and see. Aero Specialist, he's out on a lap, and it's only 16th position so far. Is he going for another lap? I don't think so. I'm not sure what he's doing here. Aero Specialist, 1 minute 33.0, 1 second slower than Giggle, and it doesn't seem like he's using ERS.
No, but he's got enough time. I think he's got enough time to go around again, save his battery, and go for another lap. Now, has he got enough fuel? Let's have a look at his DAS data. Yes, he has 5.6 laps of fuel, so there's enough fuel to go another lap. But it's not ideal having to do 2 laps. The tyres will not be as nice, but obviously it won't matter because we believe it'll be a wet start, as Killplane has purple the second sector. He's a bit down in his first sector time. This could be quite close in the nationality. How he's going to nail this final sector? It's quite technical, quite easy to make a mistake here. We'll see how he does when he crosses the line.
Yes, we'll have to wait and see. Killplane, double right-hander of my favourite sections on the track. He runs out of ERS, cuts the corner a little. It's only second position for the AlphaTauri, and now ERT Thomas right behind him. He's going to be starting his flying lap, so we'll see what happens there. ERT Jordan, what lap time can he produce here? Comes across the last corner, and it's still only 4th position. Is he going for another lap? I think he is. Yes, he is. And the tire situation doesn't really matter, as you mentioned. It is going to be a wet start, so yeah, I doubt the drivers will be caring too much. Aero Specialist, he starts his flying lap. Gazaman, he is on a lap. Truth and RP, he starts his lap. So yeah, a lot of these drivers are just starting their laps, and yeah, with qualifying over now, it's going to be their last chance for a lap.
Yeah, Matthias, he was good up there in 7th place. Epic Scorpions are proving the set times. Obviously, our guys, he's been on form past few races. The only thing they call a bit higher in 8th place. Qualifying has been the Achilles heel for this Hassman. How he's going to do now? He's in the wall there, so he's not going to do any better than 8th place. As Thomas is improving in his set times. Thomas could snatch pole here. All he needs to do is really match his final set time, and he will have pole by a couple of attempts. He's really nailed these sectors. He's about 2/10 up on Astronaut's lap at the moment. All he needs is a solid final sector, and he should get pole position.
It is looking like it will happen, but we have to wait for the final corner. And now coming across the line is pole position by an absolute mile for ERT Thomas. 5/10, what a blistering lap from him. And then ERT Jordan, he comes across the finish line in 4th position. Gazaman, he jumps up to 5th position. And is there any other driver on a competitive lap? Trunders is on one, I think. Aero Specialist, yes he is. Let's see how they do. Aero Specialist locks up 15th position for him. And ERT, not ERT, Trunders, he goes up into 6th.
Yes, I saw that there. Trunders, AlphaTauri guys having a good qualifying, but not as good as Thomas, who really, that qualifying was really close to the very end, where Thomas, he pulled that lap out the bag at the end, on pole by half a second.
Well, I mean, it's a very quick lap from the Belgian driver. Fair play to him. And it's a big gap we were talking about earlier, before the race. How Scorpion absolutely dominated that Italian Grand Prix. 1 second qualifying session, 1 second faster than Thomas, who was in 2nd. And yeah, we kind of saw that here tonight with ERT Thomas, half a second faster, but pole position doesn't always convert into a race win. We saw this at this track, and of course in the whole tier. I've rarely seen anyone get pole position, but if you could run us pole position and a win, but if you could run us through the starting order for the race.
Yeah, in pole position got ERT Thomas, in 2nd place got Astronauti, in 3rd place we got Killplane, in 4th we got ERT Jordan, in 5th we got Gaza, 6th we got Trunders, 7th Tufan RP, 8th Matthias, 9th Epic Scorpion, 10th Hooky, 11th Dexter, 12th Quineth, 13th Giggle, 14th Just Mikey, 15th Air Specialist, 16th Sully, and Mike back the grid with that qualifying ban. We've got a 1.7 gap between Paul and the back of the grid.
So it's going to be a very interesting Grand Prix, and I'm just waiting for the loading screen. Hopefully we'll see some rain, because that will give us a lot of chaos. Yes, we do. So it looks like intermediate conditions, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Don't think we'll see wet tires, but you never know. So yeah, I can't wait for the race. And just quickly before we start the race, we're gonna mention our sponsors, Next Level Racing, who are providing a GT Light Cockpit as a prize to our giveaway winner, Liam RBS, who sponsors our trophy for the season. You could cash up on him on twitch.tv/LiamRBS. And we have 3M Sim Racing, that provide a pair of their sim racing gloves to the driver with most poles and driver with the most fastest laps.
Yeah, we've also got our partners, First Platoon, who are sponsoring our championship prizes. We've got ERT, our ERT racing team, and they're sponsoring the Go Get Stuff Award. We've got 3 ERT drivers in this lobby. We've got Dexter, Thomas, and Jordan. And also we've got a collaboration with Time to Print. It's 20% off this back on the Etsy store using the code 1HubRacing.
So the sponsors are done, and now we're just waiting for the drivers to set off for their formation lap and then onto the race. 27 laps. As you mentioned, Hearts can do the whole Grand Prix, and I wouldn't even be surprised if we see Inter's softs if someone is good under tyre wear.
Yeah, because yeah, that could be interesting. Yeah, I believe we'll probably see that. It also depends on when this weather changes. Because Gatherman did mention it was halfway through the race, but then pre-race weather forecasts they can be a little bit inaccurate. The rain could last longer, or it could last later. So we might see a few guys gambling. Obviously, this is the two-stop rule, so we might see a few guys gambling and maybe doing two sets of inners, maybe hoping it's only a short dry stint at the end. So yeah, it'd be interesting to see what happens. And if a safety car comes out lap one, I wouldn't be surprised to see the majority's pack come in and get one of their pit stops out the way.
Yeah, there's a lot of strategy involved in these, and we might see some outlandish ideas that could work out or else won't work out. I mean, that's how strategy works, and we saw a bit of that in Spain.
Yeah, well, so you saw that, and in Barcelona, I think, and in Spa as well. We saw a bit of Spain. We saw obviously a few guys gamble on Inters, which turned out to be the correct decision. And in Spa, we saw guys do both their stops behind the safety car, get them out of the way, and that's what won the race. So that's something to keep an eye on. And yeah, it's going to be interesting. And obviously, as we've got a few guys getting disqualified for running in each other in the formation lap, it's not ideal because that means tyres will not be up to optimum temperature when the race starts. And Mike was asking the rivalry about why Gwyneth was putting the stewards a lot, and he says he's not focused on Gwyneth, who does in the race. He's not wearing up since they don't concern him. And so yeah, that's interesting to see. And Mike and Matt, so Mike is looking to have a clean race because he had that massive penalty last week. He'll just be looking to be maybe just to keep out trouble at the start and really get some points. As the formation lap's almost over, so I'm going to ask you for a quick prediction. Who do you think is going to win?
Oh, who do I think is going to win? I want to say Astronauty. I mean, he's been pretty unfortunate the past few races, especially in this year, and we might see his tables turn around.
I'm gonna go Gaza. I think Gaza. This is the sort of race I think Gaza will thrive. A race where there's a bit of indecision. There's a race that calls for a calm head, and I think Gaza maybe the guy a bit of a surprise win, but I think Gaza may take it tonight as the formation lap is almost complete.
With the formation lap almost complete, we see Ivor Bryn Mike lining up on the last position on the grid. Now we're just waiting for the lights to go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 red lights out at the Olympic Park, and away we go. It's a good start from ERT Thomas, and nobody has pulled alongside him. Astronauty and Killplane, they're going side by side into turn 2. I think there's a lot of chaos behind. Yes, there is. Who is that? That's a Racing Point spinning in the back. That's Matthias. And Astronaut, he keeps second position. Epic Scorpion and ERT Jordan, they are battling out for position. Scorpion with an amazing start. I think he started in 9th position. He's up to 4th position. So he's done an amazing job. Hooky in 6th. Roof NRP in 7th. Hooky looking very close to the back of ERT Jordan. I think there was some side-by-side action. Yes, there was. Gazaman losing some position. So your prediction, not doing the best. Now going alongside with Giggle. He's going round the outside. He has to extend the track a little, make up his own racing line. Oh, there's contact between the two of them, and Giggle is on the tarmac, and he nearly got into Bryn Mike's way.
Yeah, not a great start for the Racing Point team. Yeah, I mentioned Gaza. Gaza's top for Red Bull 20 train stars there. He just didn't get off the line, and he's struggling for confidence. He's maybe not that comfortable in the wet weather, and a lot of guys around him have got a lot more confidence. They've got specialists on the back of him. But what a great start. Thomas has put up a nice... And
Epic Scorpion, he's up into 3rd position. What overtake for him. Killplane will be kicking himself right now. Scorpion looking like Cam from Podium tier last season. I mean, he is looking rapid in these conditions. No one can stop him. We might even see him take the lead later on. I mean, Thomas, he already has a gap of 2.4 seconds on Astronauty, and he's losing a lot there. So it will be interesting to see how this plans out.
Yes, I believe Quinn had a bit of a moment in the final set. The yellow flag, but Scorpion, he's like the Rainmaster. He's just so confident in his weather. And Astronaut, he'd be feeling the pressure a little bit now. You can see that Haas gaining on him massively. And well, as I mentioned earlier, it's difficult to overtake in the wet, but after that long back straight, it is possible if you get a good slipstream. We saw earlier, you brave on Hackman was there. Cooper's got a penalty already, so it's not going too well tonight for our championship leader. He's had an okay start, but he doesn't look that comfortable in these conditions. Matthias pitted as he had total full wing damage. He had to pit, and the race point guys have no points so far this season. It's still looking quite bad for them. As we've got a bit of a train forming up behind the Renault of Jordan.
Yeah, I mean, a train, the wet conditions, those two really go together. And Epic Scorpion up 6 positions at the start, and it was a very good start. Hooky up 4 positions from lights out. So these drivers doing an amazing job so far. Some drivers not doing an amazing job. Kilplane already a penalty and 1 position down on his starting position. So yeah, he'll be unhappy with himself. So is ERT Jordan. Just he does not have a penalty. A bit of a shaky moment through the chicane, losing the back end a little. But I imagine a lot of these drivers will be, especially if they're running a dry setup.
Yeah, they will be. I think that we might see that there as we've got Epic Scorpion in the back of Astronaut. You know, Epic Scorpion is using his ERS. Astronaut is to defend. It's going to be difficult. No DRS. He got the guy, and it looks like Astronaut's got some decent chip line speed. So I think this overtake will be quite difficult for Scorpion. I believe it's got to somehow pressure the Williams man into a mistake and allow him to get through. As Thomas has built up a nice lead of 3 seconds. So this battling behind is a good news story for our guy who's dropped to second in the championship after last week's race.
Yeah, Thomas with a very good start, and Scorpion nearly pushing Astronauti through these corners, and I mean he's looking very quick, especially through the corners. He might be running a wet setup. I wouldn't be surprised, but that will hinder him when the dry weather comes. And you know, Astronauti extending a little, that might be a warning for him. And looking at this battle, I mean, he is so close to the back of that Williams. I wouldn't be surprised if we see an overtake here, like he did on Kilplane.
Yeah,
it's a big moment for Epic Scorpion, and he's very lucky not to bin it into the wall. And that's him outside the 1 second. I mean, there's no DRS, but he was... I would be so scared at that moment. He got very lucky to save that, and yeah.
Yeah, I'd be changing me away at that. That was really scary. I thought he was straight in the wall there, but I believe he's got to just gather himself. I believe he will have the pace to close back up on Astronaut there, but I was thinking that was the opportunity to get by because he was at that middle sector, and it just when it's time to let the throttle down, it just had a lot of wheel spin. It just that could have been disaster, but it was averted for him. He lost a bit of time, but thanks for him, no damage, and he's able to remain in the fight.
Yeah, dirty air and the wet conditions. He was just a little bit too happy on this throttle, and yeah, he's now going to be catching up to the back of Astronaut yet again, and his tyres will probably be overheating a little as Kilplane. He is struggling here to turn 3. That's him nearly in the wall. So a lot of these drivers struggling in these conditions, and I mean, whoever is probably the cleanest here could really pick up the points, as I'm surprised nobody has retired yet.
No, Matthias is 42 seconds of the pace, but he managed to survive that one instant. Now, when he had that first retirement there with Scorpion, that was really scary, but he managed to hang on. Seen Aero Specialist in the McLaren overtake Mikey for 11th place. He did it down the inside of turn 1. They fought a bit side by side into turn 3, but Aero Specialist able to hang on, and now the McLaren man looking to regain position, as it looks like Epic Scorpion hasn't really caught on the back of Astronaut. I wonder if his tyres have overheated a little bit with that moment.
I wouldn't be surprised, looking up into a lot of these corners, running no ABS, and yeah, I mean, if I was Epic Scorpion, yeah, I'd be kicking myself just like Kilplane. I'd be furious that I would have lost it, and it's such a big moment for the race, and now he has to do a lot of catching up. It seems like he just can't catch up.
Yeah, Kilplane's he's looking not like come by. They haven't. Jordan might have an opportunity to pass him into turn one, but Kilplane gets a decent exit, and Jordan is going to have to stay in the slipstream. He's going to have to try and send it down the inside, but he's too far back. But yeah, Kilplane in the traction zones. He's really struggling for traction. I think he just seems to be struggling in his conditions. He doesn't look that comfortable compared to the cars around him.
He's going to really have to step up his game, especially in the dry, as we see now no droplets of rain. So that is very important as he goes for a big slide there. Tokyo drifting here in Sochi. And now Jordan's all over the back of him. It's still very wet, even though there's no rain coming down from the sky. I imagine we will see the dry period coming in a few laps time.
Yeah, a couple, 3 or 4 laps, I think, and they'll be in for, I believe they'll be in for softs, and 2 sets of softs. I believe will take them to the end. We might see a few guys not so comfortable on tyre, maybe go from the mediums, but I think it'll be 2 sets of softs that get them to the end. As Kilplane, I think he's managed to gap himself a little bit. He's pulled a little bit more of a gap to Jordan this lap. As Kilplane, there's a bit of a train by Kilplane now. We've got Jordan, Hooky, Truth, and Chunders all behind the Kilplane, who I think he's never felt that comfortable in the wet weather. I think Kilplane's more at home in the dry weather, so he'll be hoping his sun beams down a lot quicker.
Yeah, it definitely does seem like it. Kilplane, he is praying right now that it dries up very quickly, and I wouldn't be surprised if he's one of the first drivers to go onto dry tyres, have a gamble on them. ERT Thomas fastest lap of the race, 5.6. The gap is between him and the Astronauty, but back to the fight for 4th position. I wouldn't be surprised if we see Jordan get up into that 4th position on this really long straight. Overtake mode engaged, no DRS for him to use. In the slipstream he is, but he's just too far away. He just can't get the move done in these wet conditions.
No, but Kilplane's made a mistake into turn 3. He might do it round the outside of turn 3, side by side, and Jordan has got the move done. Kilplane is really struggling. He's got no grip, and Jordan was able to capitalise on that little Kilplane out of turn 3.
Yes. No, Hooky, he is right on the back of Kilplane. I wouldn't be surprised if Jordan just storms away right now from Kilplane. And yeah, Tronders, his teammate, he is on the back of Truth and RP, so we might see a battle form there. Yeah, all eyes are on Hooky and Kilplane, as Kilplane is not looking himself, at least in the wet.
No, he isn't. As we see, Giggle passing Sully for 15th place, but Hooky's going to have an ERS. He's got a really good run here, but I believe this corner's going to come up a little bit too early for him. He's going to have to try and get moved into the turn to the first 3 corners, where Kilplane looks really, really vulnerable, especially in that turn 4 high-speed corner. He's not able to keep a tight line like the rest of the guys around him are.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if we see an overtake there. We see Kilplane sliding all over the place through the chicane. We might even see a move before the chicane. I don't think he's close enough to him. No, he isn't. I imagine it would have been job done in the dry, but just the wet conditions make it so much more difficult for these drivers. But now pulling into this slipstream overtake mode engaged, we see he has a lot of ERS to play with and takes a very wide line, but loses speed compared to Kilplane. Now he's probably going to go for the move here through turn 3.
Yeah, he's got a few guys pitting for dry tyres. The track is getting a lot drier. I don't think we're quite at fully dry conditions yet, but a few guys are back taking the gamble as Kilplane is managed to hang on for this lap, but Kilplane may gamble and go on some slick tyres next lap.
Yeah, we see a lot of drivers pitting in for the slicks. Yeah, the DRS has been enabled, so these drivers are very lucky. Just Mikey, Gazaman, Giggle, O'Sully and Ivor Bryn Mike, they all pay in for the dry tyres, and I think it was worth it as the DRS has been enabled. Gazaman, the only man coming out on the medium cover of the tyres, compared to everyone else who went out on the softs. Matthias is in the pits after not the best race start due to his front wing change.
Well, Hooky may have opportunity with DRS here, but Kilpain got a really good exit out the final corner. Maybe soon as well, come on, the track's a bit drier. Yeah, Kilpain managed to hang on, but these guys were all in. It'd be a race between the pit mechanics, and I believe that the likes of Hooky, who has a pit lane further down, I think he may be able to jump the guys around him, because we have seen in the game where guys that have pit lanes further down, they do tend to get quicker pit stops. But look how quick they are. Cookie may be racing Kilplane into the pits. He may have to move into the pit lane. No, he backs out of it. Thinks better of it.
Now we might have seen it as Sebastian Vettel at China, and now the gap is pretty big between Kilplane and Hooky going into the pits. Aero Specialist with a 5-second time penalty for speeding in the pit lane. Now we see a lot of these drivers thinking that was a McLaren with a front wing change Aero Specialist. So he's in double stack for that AlphaTauri crew. So Trunders will not be happy by that. ERT Thomas, he comes out in the lead. Astronauti second. Epic Scorpion in third. So he jumps. No, he doesn't jump, sorry. That was my mistake. Kilplane in fourth, Hooky in fifth. Just Mikey, he's coming out to pay. No, he's coming out and he slots in behind Hooky. So this undercut really worked for him.
Yeah, Mike's a warm tyres. He may have treated to pass Hooky here. Hooky will be showing for grip. Look at Mikey, so much quicker in turn 4, but he's not really on the right line to overtake. But yeah, that undercut did work for him as he got an extra lap in dry weather conditions. As Kilplane did manage to hold on to 4th place. Off tyre crew did give a good stop, but Hooky, for this next lap, it'll be under pressure from the Renault man.
Yeah, he will be, and it's going to be Ball to watch out for. Sully with a 3-second time penalty. I imagine these penalties will be easier to get now as the drivers are pushing their cars to the limit a lot more than they were, because back then they had to watch out for the wet weather. Now they're just trying to go as fast as possible, especially on brand new softs. Gazaman, only man on the medium column of tires, and he could be overtaken by Trunders very soon. He is on the soft, and let's see now, he's going to be going round the outside of turn 13, but he gets the move done before the corner, so that's a very good move from Trunders, and that's him up into 9th position. Truth NRP gets ahead of just Mikey.
I believe just back made a little bit of mistake there, because he was having the back of Hooky, but I believe may have run a bit deep into that chicane. That allowed him to get through. Yeah, Gazza's on the medium tyres now. We saw this in Canada where Gazza selected the wrong tyre. He went on the hard tyre and should have run the medium. I wonder if Gazza has picked the wrong tyre again, because he's the only guy on the medium tyres, so he's going to struggle for pace. So Gazza man has gone for the mediums. I wonder that was a mistake for him, because I do believe 2 sets softs at the end of the 2 sets lap. It'll come down a lot now, because a lot of these guys, it will get drier and drier, so expect to see a lot of fastest laps in the next 2 or 3 laps.
As True Van RP was showing himself in the mirrors of the Alfa Romeo driver, showing him that he's there, showing him that he will go for the move, and probably trying to pressure Hooky into a mistake. Both of them now locking up heading into turn 5. And yeah, lockups will be big, as it's a lot of 90-degree corners. But a lot of these battles probably dying out a little as the gaps are forming after the pit stops. But now ERT Dex Exter, he is looking very close to the back of Gazaman, and Drew Van RP looking very close to the back of Hooky, but Hooky, he got a better exit, so he will retain that 5th position, going back to the battle for 10th position. Will ERT Dex Exter be close enough? I think he will be, heading into turn 12 and 13. They're going side by side right now. ERT Dex Exter has to take the longer route, but it turns into the inside now. But he can make the move stick, as his teammate ERT Thomas in the lead with a new fastest lap, as that's Gazaman with a big mistake there, losing traction, and that's Dex Exter into 10th position.
Yeah, the Gazaman's really struggling. His teammate Trufa and RP has picked up wing damage, and so has Hooky, as Quinn in fact come up with wing damage as well. So yeah, Gazaman on their medium tyres. I think because it's low grip, it's struggling, and that allowed Dex to get through, because it's good defence from Gaza in the chicane, but he just lost it afterwards. So yeah, he's really struggling. Got DRS, maybe have a pass back from Dex, and Dex has got the move done. So yeah, Gaza on their mediums, he's got to slip down the order, I think.
Yeah, CRT Jordan, he got past both Truth and RP and just Mikey. So it's good news for ART Jordan, bad news for Mikey and Truth and RP. I think Mikey had a little bit of a wheel spin at the exit of the last turn, which made him lose the positions. So he'll be looking to attack the Red Bull driver as he goes wide at the exit of turn 9, which means he will now have a 3-second time penalty. I love these drivers having a time penalty. The only drivers ahead of them are Astronauty and the RT Thomas without a penalty. So yeah, as you said, penalties will play a big factor here.
Yeah, Truth and RP locked up badly into the chicane there, but thankfully for him he was able to gather it up. But Just Mikey looks really racy, looks a lot quicker than the Red Bull man, and Just Mikey had a good race last week, the top 6, and he's looking to get another top 6 finish. He was driving in nominee last week, didn't win it, but yeah, the Renault team are starting to come on strong towards the end of the season now. As Truth and RP, I think, is going to be sitting duck because I think he's out of DRS from Jordan, so I believe Just Mikey will get this doing that. Wing damage is really hurting Truth. So Just Mikey around the outside, even before who got removed. Truth and RP is hope for safety car, or maybe try and get more of a pit window, so maybe put a set of mediums onto the end.
Yeah, Sochi with wing damage, he came into the pits now. Gasaman looking very close to the back of Aero Specialist. Aero Specialist going through turn 3. I think that lack of grip on the medium compound of tyres is really hurting the Red Bull man. And I have a feeling that is what is preventing him from gaining positions here, and just he keeps on losing them.
Yeah, he's in 136s when the cars are on him 135s, and the leads on 134. So yeah, as you mentioned earlier in the race, that delta between the soft C4 and the mean C3 tyres 1.3 seconds, and I think we should improve it now with Gazaman falling down the order.
Yeah, it's now Truth and RP. He goes down the inside of Just Mikey into the chicane under the bridge now. And let's see, they're still going side by side. Just Mikey early on the power. And let's see this into the second chicane here of Sector 3. And that is Truth and RP up into 6th position. Just Mikey just got on the curb a little bit too much. And he has to drop down into 7, but now he will be able to probably get the move back on Truth and RP. He does have DRS, he does have overtake mode, he is using it, and that is him with an easy move on Truth and RP, and the long straight proving easy for overtaking.
Yep. So Chief RP is fighting well, that wind damage. He's hanging in there, fighting tough, but yeah, it just shows you power of DRS though, because Chief RP was able to hang on the back of the Renault man with DRS, and he's able to buy. But look at this is allowing Chunders to catch up these two. Chunders with no penalties. So Chunders, if he clears these two guys, he may be looking to jump a few places in their order, but yeah, Just Mikey, he's struggling in the middle sector. I think Just Mikey's running a really low downforce setup, and that is really affecting him in the middle sector, but he's giving great straight line speed. And Truth and RP, well, he's still on DRS again, but he's running a little bit deep. I think Truth and RP may be under pressure from the Alpha Tire man down this straight.
He really might be. The sister team really attacking their other sister team, and now MFC Trunders, will he be close enough? I don't think so. Truth and RP with both DRS and Slipstream. Just Mikey going very early on the brakes, and that means there was contact between Trunders and Truth and RP. I don't think Trunders lost his front wing. No, he didn't. So that's very lucky for the AlphaTauri man. And now I imagine this move will have to be done going into turn 1. And we might see a double, triple wide going into turn 1. I don't think so, as Just Mikey is pulling away now. And yeah, Truth and RP, he is getting the slipstream on Just Mikey, and Trunders can't catch up.
No, Trunders, I think, is maybe when this like hard downforce is hurting him in these final two sectors, but he's got a really good run through turn 4. He's going to send up the inside. Is this going to be brave? Look, he's got just enough room. Truth and RP is defending well here.
There's contact! Oh, that's Trunders in the wall, and he has front wing damage. Now they're still going side by side though. Trunders probably unhappy with that. Truth and RP squeezes him out a little. And Truth NRP, he was very lucky not to pick up any more front wing damage. I imagine that will be Trunders into the pits, as his front wing damage on the left is 89 out of 100, according to TAS. So that is really bad, if you can't tell. And yeah, that's probably him onto an early 2-stop.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that'll be. Thankfully for him, it is sort of in the pit stop range. But he didn't want to go immediate. I think he wanted to go on soft. So he may be able to get soft to the end, but it's going to be a struggle. But yeah, we did mention last week the instance in Monza that did mean the increase of the penalty system. We reached a threshold of penalty points, so we got double penalty points. So now we got double penalties. So if Truth NRP, if he's in the stewards now, he's going to face a penalty. He gets a penalty for that. I'm not sure if he will or not, but if he does, he'll face a double time penalty, what he would have done last week, as Chun's in the pits. It's a shame for him because he's having a solid race, he's really progressing well for the field, but yeah, they're just sort of not enough room there for Chunders, and he just hit the wall.
Yeah, this will not help AlphaTauri's Constructors Championship, as it is a very close margin between them and Mercedes. Up at the top, to be exact, it is 12 points. So both teams could win the championship. And yeah, I have to say the wingmen have to step up. Dexter and MFC Trunders.
Yeah, so now we see Epic Scorpion is caught on the back of Astronaut again, needs to come in close together. You have to say Thomas is looking really nice and comfortable out in the lead, but these two have had a really good battle for second place, and now we're seeing Epic Scorpion slowly start to pull the running span. Now this would be interesting. I wonder...
That's now Aero Specialist. He's going for a move on Truth NRP before the DRS detection point. So that means Truth NRP, he will have DRS, but he will be too far away. Sorry for cutting you in there, and please continue.
Yeah, as I mentioned, Epic Scorpion is getting a couple of tenths each lap. Astronaut, I think, will still have enough down turn one, but Epic Scorpion, what will he do with strategies? He's got really good final run out the corner there. This might allow him into turn two. He's going to go around the outside. We've seen this happen before. Astronaut, what's he going to do? Defend the inside, defends the outside. But Epic got the inside line. Astronaut just fight around the outside though, and he's going to go off track. And I believe Epic Scorpion will get the move done, because I believe Astronaut, he may have to give the place back. No, he doesn't. No, he keeps it, but he went off track there. Now, that's interesting, because he went off track to defend the position, and I think Epic Scorpion will be a little bit upset at that. I think he may feel like he deserved the position there, because I think he got the move done, and Astronaut, he went off track.
I don't know, that might have been Scorpion maybe nudging him out wide, or else he did go out wide to defend his position. Either way, as it stands, it is still second position for Astronauty and third position for Scorpion, and they might want to get resolved at the end of the race in the stewards. I mean, I don't think there will be too much to talk about there, but if he wants to, he can send it in there. But right now, he will be having to fight for this position, as nothing is final right now.
Yeah, as I look at tyre wear, it's interesting. A lot of guys will have 30%, 20%. When do you think these guys come in for another set of softs? Do you think I think it'll be 2 or 3 laps, and they'll try and split the stints? Because I think that when you get to that 50% mark, I think that's when we'll see guys coming to the pits. And I wonder if Epic Scorpions maybe thinking he can't get by, maybe thinking of doing the undercut on the Williams man. He's actually got no penalties. So at the moment, Astronaut, he can afford to let him go as long as he stays within 3 seconds. But Astronaut, I think he wants to keep the position on track.
Yeah, it's a big risk letting someone by, especially knowing that he is this quick, as I dare say Epic Scorpion is quicker than Astronaut right now. And talking about the undercut, this track very famous for its strong undercut, so I imagine it's whoever will go into the pits first will go in, and then that opens up the pit window for everyone else, and I imagine that's when everyone else will pit in.
Yeah, he's got a good battle here for 8th place between Truth, NRP, Dexter and Gazza. Gazza on the mean tyres, and maybe starting to come back to life a little bit as Truth NRP keeps locking up. He's struggling for braking tonight, and Truth NRP with that wind damage, he's doing well to hang on with it. Obviously we had that incident with Trunders, which we think will probably get reviewed by the stewards. We'll see what they think of it, but yeah, Truth NRP, he's looking to maybe try and hold back Dexter, maybe allow his teammate to overtake.
Yeah, Skillplane, he picked up another 3-second time penalty, and now we're looking at the battle for 8th position between the two Red Bulls and a Mercedes. A Red Bull sandwich right now, and DRT Dexter, he has an enormous speed advantage on Truth and RP right now, and that's him down the inside, but he locks up, double lock up from the Mercedes driver, and that's Gazaman and ERT Dexter. They're going side by side now, and Gazaman could even make the move stick. He will have the inside for the second corner in the chicane. They're still going side by side. Will that be Truth into the pit? Yes, it is, and so is ERT Dexter. I imagine the rest of the guys up ahead will be pitting in Astronauti into pits, so Epic Scorpion will not be taking advantage of that undercut. Instead, he'll be trying to make an overcut work.
Yeah, it's going to be quite difficult for him to do that. Astronauti doing the right thing there. He's going to come out in some relative clear air, so Astronauti will be able to bang in a really quick lap and maybe try and reduce the gap to Thomas, but Thomas, he can do any strategy he likes. He's up for the win. But yeah, just Dexter, he just left that break in a tiny bit too late. He had the move done, but I think because he's on the compromised line, he had to brake a little bit earlier, but he wasn't able to, and that was a great opportunity to drive from Gaza. He's really sensible, did it round the outside, which became the inside, and Gaza on the mediums. Maybe Gaza will be running a little bit longer, maybe trying to get a really quick final couple of laps going, but then medium tyres, maybe a quicker tyre now, but all these guys are fresh softs are getting a lot of time, so Gaza, man, I don't know why he went for mediums. I presume it was a mistake, because nobody else has done it.
Yeah, it does seem like a mistake, and as Tom is in the pit, I imagine Epic Scorpion and Killplane will follow him in, but just checking at Killplane's tyre, yeah, it is bigger than everyone else's, but he does stay out, so that's quite surprising. Now all eyes on Epic Scorpion, as he will be racing Astronauti out of the pits, so we'll have to wait and see how that battle will commence. Going on board with the Williams driver now, he's coming across the final corner and across the start finish straight. He does have DRS on the oncoming car of Gazaman, and we see their Epic Scorpion out the pits, and he is behind the Williams driver. And now Scorpion is a very lucky man. He got Gazaman in front of him, which will slow down the Williams driver and potentially let him catch up. Well, now Astro, will he go down the inside of Gazaman? Yes, he does. No time to lose for the Finnish driver, and that's him up into 5th position. Now a car is separating him and Epic Scorpion.
That's a crucial move there for Astro, because if he stuck behind Gazaman much longer, then Epic Scorpion's gone in the back of him down his second DRS straight. Now Epic Scorpion lost about half a second there due to that undercut. I wonder if that undercut would have been slightly bigger for Astro if he didn't catch Gaza, but that DRS maybe balanced out the dirty air effect. But yeah, Astronaut, he had to get the move done, because you could see, look how much closer Scorpion is to Gaza. Scorpion would have been within DRS range of Astro, didn't get that move done. So yeah, nice decisive racing there for Astro, and clever driving from Gaza. He knew that wasn't his fight, he didn't fight it too much and allowed the race to continue. So good, clever driving by the both of them.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if we saw a 3 wide moment into that chicane, as now Gazaman, he pulls into the pits. So Scorpion, I don't think he will have the RS. No, he doesn't. He is too far away. I'd say that's around 2 seconds as I wait for their leaderboard to refresh. Killplane into the pits. So is ERT Jordan and Aero Specialist. So they're going onto the softs. Aero Specialist serving his time penalty. Now what's the gap between them? It's only 1 second, so Scorpion will have DRS, but Astronauti does not have a time penalty compared to the Haas driver.
No, as Giggles yet to score points, but he's up in 11th place and he's close back a Hooky. Hooky had to go on medium tyres, a compromised strategy because of his damage, and Giggle may have opportunity. Look at the run he's got down the straight. He's going to get this move into turn 2, and Giggle's up to 8th place, so race yet to score any points this season, but he's looking break the duck.
As there's yellow flags in sector 1. Who is that for? That is for Hooky, who has spawned it, and it's a safety car.
Yeah,
So
safety car. He
that
lost. He lost it. Sorry, but he lost it when Giggle got by, and that's a huge benefit for the likes of Chunders and a hooky set of session, so he can't benefit. But Chunders, he'd be able to come in and put a set of softs on and back in the race. So that's a huge advantage for the likes of Mike, Chunders, Truth NRP, and Matthias, who all fought throughout the race. And now they've got an opportunity to be back in the race.
Yeah, and it's obviously a big opportunity for the top three, well, for second and third, as now they will have a fighting chance against CRT Thomas, who was looking completely unstoppable this entire Grand Prix, and this might just change right now.
Yeah, everybody's on the lead lap, so nobody's going to be stuck behind the safety car, so everybody be able to bunch up and get changed tyres. And yeah, I wonder, would you pit if you're the leaders? Would you put enough for a set of softs on, or do you think these softs would go to the end? Because tyre wear, it's not that bad around there, but a fresh set of softs will be a benefit.
With a lot of these drivers being on only 1 or 2 lap hold softs, as Kazaman gets a drive-through penalty for speeding under the safety car. With the tyres being 1 or 2 laps old, I don't think there's really a point of pitting in, especially with the safety car. Now, the tyres will last longer as they are not pushing the tyres.
No, but Chunders and Hooky, and that's no huge surprise because they're both on medium tyres, and Hooky did have that wind damage. I think Hooky was able to rejoin, so we do have 17 drivers in the race. This will take 2 or 3 laps before the field bunches up.
And we could see any driver really win this. Obviously Astro and the RT Thomas have the advantage here as they have no penalties. So does Bryn Mike, but I doubt he'll be doing an 11th to 1st in just a few laps. Well, you never know. And we could see anything happen, especially with the restart and the long back straight as Astronautic comes really close to the back of ERT Thomas as Thomas really brake checked him.
Yeah, that's all good to say. As we mentioned the championship briefly, at the moment, if the race says that it is with Thomas in first place and Kill playing at 4th, at the moment, Thomas will retake the championship lead for 5-point lead over Kill playing. So Thomas, at the moment, will retake the championship lead.
And as the safety car is out for another lap, I'll just quickly run through the constructors standings as we haven't mentioned them yet. In the constructors, we see Mercedes leading the way on 139 points. AlphaTauri has caught up massively since I was last year. They sit 12 points behind the Silver Arrows. Third goes to the orange outfit McLaren, who's on 122 points. Red Bull are in 4th on 99 points. Renault will be looking to overtake Red Bull in the standings as they have accumulated 92 points so far. Haas really looking like a one-man team right now, with their top driver picking up all 60 points they have gone this season. Williams are in 7th on 38 points. Hunting them down is Alfa Romeo, who are only 3 points behind them. In 9th is Ferrari, and in 10th is Racing Point on 3 points.
Yeah, they're looking to get off the mark, and Giggles doing a good job for them at the moment. They're on 5 points, so they're really going to up their points total, but they're still going to be in last place. And at the moment, it is looking good for Mercedes to increase the gap further on the teams behind them, with McLaren in 9th place and AlphaTauri only running 4th and 13th.
So I imagine the safety car will pit in this lap with Hooky, Sir Quinniff and Matthias being very close to the pack. Matthias now catching up to it, and so yeah, everyone has caught up to it now. And I imagine the safety car will pit in. It's become very overcast here, and imagine the scenes if we get rain here at the end.
Yeah, that'd be amazing. Obviously, it's not going to be. I remember back Catalonia when we had the wet and under the safety car. So not that moment, yeah. But I think we may be alright. I think we may get these laps in before it gets too wet, as the safety car is in this lap, and everybody on the soft tyres, so everybody should have similar pace on the restarters. We have over the past few mixed tyres, not everybody on the same set of tyres, so we should see the majority of these guys get good restart. And where will Thomas put the throttle down?
Now, I saw in Spain he did put it down very early. He does tend to put it down very early, as he is an expert now at doing these race restarts. I cannot count how many times he has done it, and he has pulled away now very early. The safety car is in the pit, so he can do it. He did use a squirt of overtake mode, and that is a great restart from the Belgian man. And now Epic Scorpion, he is all over the back of Astronauti. There is no DRS, but he could make the move. Is he close enough? No, he isn't. And here's Thomas already 1.1 second, 1.3 seconds ahead of Astro, so that was a very crucial restart for him.
Yeah, Astronaut is asleep there, and Astronaut is very lucky that Scorpion wasn't a bit closer, because he could have easily lost that place into turn 2, but it was alright. Yes, Astronaut, any chance of him corners is a huge gap, 1 point. So that's almost, he's had no. Oh yes, this race win, as I believe more safety cars, there's not enough laps left. How close Scorpion is to the back of Astronaut. It's got a good opportunity to move to the head into the chicane, go round the outside. You've got to be careful, it's tight enough, but it's going to try and outbrake the runners and round the outside. Astronaut just the hands up now, but it wasn't there with deep, but I think Epic Scorpion is not able to take advantage. It's going to set up inside here though. No, he thinks better of it.
It's looking very close here in the battle for second position. Epic Scorpion, he can still challenge, but now he has Killplane to worry about. Killplane looking himself now in the dry conditions, even though it's overcast. And now Epic Scorpion, he could lose a position potentially to the AlphaTauri man. He doesn't look close enough to Astro, but I don't think Killplane is close enough, so they will stay put as it is. And now behind them is the RT Jordan getting past Just Mikey. Not sure if that was some team orders or else it was a clean overtake. And now Jordan, he will be hunting down the train forming behind Astro.
Yes, air specialist because by Giggle, but air specialist runs deep, but he's able to hang on. Yeah, that Renault swap, it was a swap because just Mikey pulled over onto the outside, into the inside to let Jordan through. So that was a clear team orders by Renault, allowing Jordan to maybe catch these front forward. Air specialist just get by Giggle for 8th place, sorry.
So it's looking very close now after the safety car restart. The only person not looking close is RT Thomas, 2.7. The gap is just outstanding performance from him, but back to the top. The battle for the podium positions, and yeah, it's looking very close up here. Could throw a blanket over them, it's so close. And Epic Scorpion, he will be looking to get the move done on Astro. He's been stuck behind him this entire Grand Prix. If he just didn't lose his car going on to the second straight, as there is rain on the track, I doubt it will be enough to cause some weather racing, as that is Hooky in the wall yet again. So his Grand Prix went from bad to worse. But rained out. The Gazman, the forecast man, didn't say this earlier on, so yeah, it's a bit random as virtual safety car has been deployed, and it will be very interesting to see how this race plans out.
Yeah, well, there's 2.5 laps left. It may be quite a sketchy final lap. Look at this. If it does get down heavy, which it does look like it is, I think the final lap, it may be quite difficult for these guys to keep it on the island, as Epic Scorpion is really harrying Astronaut behind his DSC. Obviously, he's looking to maybe try and get the jump at the best possible time. As I believe DRS will be active as soon as the DSC ends. So Astro's, well, he's got to be careful not sleeping when the countdown occurs. As Epic Scorpion threatening to get a move done, but the VSC is still on. Well, what was that VSC for? Was it for another spinner?
Yes, it was Hooky who put it in the wall and then left the session. So Scorpion did not get lucky here, but he has to be careful. He is looking very close to the back of Astro, but he could get a drive through, but he doesn't, so he did time it correctly, and now he's right at the back of the Williams driver. Scorpion a lot more confident in the wet, but now he has touched the back of Astronauti, and he'll be looking to get the move done now with DRS enabled. He doesn't even need the DRS. He goes down the inside for the first kink, and that's moved on for him. I don't think Astro will be close enough, or else he goes for a really late lunge. Yes, he does, down the inside into turn 1, and that means he has a 3-second time penalty now. Killplane around the outside of the Williams driver, and that's job done for Killplane. And Astro, the real loser hero, down 2 positions and a 3-second time penalty. So now Killplane, he is going to be looking to get the overtake done on Epic Scorpion, and what could have been a disaster of a Grand Prix for Killplane could really turn around. And I think if he was to get this second position, it will only be 1 point separating him and Thomas.
Yeah, obviously Thomas is going to get the slap points, so you get 21 points, but Killplane wants to get through. Actually, no, he's in good penalty position, but his pace he's falling down the order. We saw this early in the race. Actually, no, it does not look that comfortable when it's overcast and sort of a bit damp, as you've got 2 laps to go. And looking at this rain, I wonder if the final lap may be a bit sketchy, as mentioned earlier, because it is falling, but I think they may just be alright. As Epic Scorpion is pulling away, I think Epic Scorpion, after that overtake, he might have a bit of a scare when he saw the Williams diving inside of turn 2, but the Williams had to go on the curve, and after that curve did unsettle him, and that enabled Killplane to get through, as he got air specialist all the back of just Mikey, as I believe Jordan may have had a spin.
Yeah, he did, and it was not the first time Scorpion was crapping his pants tonight, and he has had a very eventful Grand Prix. I don't think Killplane is close enough for a move. No, he isn't. Is there anyone behind? Yes, there is. Aero Specialist. He goes for a move on Just Mikey. And Just Mikey, not having the best restart, he let ERT Jordan past. Jordan binned it. And now he gets overtaken by Aero Specialist. So his restart could have gone way better. And now Giggle, he is looking close to ERT Dex Sexter, but I think he'll be too far away just yet to go for a move on the next TRS straight.
Take the gamble, obviously the back of the pack after that damage. He's gone for the intermediate tyres. I don't think we're intermediate yet, but the final lap, that might be the wrong decision for him, but he's got nothing to lose the back of the field, as I mentioned. Just as Bryn Mike is in 9th place, but he made a mistake into turn 2. He's off 3 or 4 places, so Bryn Mike, whose only points from this season is a 2nd place in Singapore, is down into 12th place, but he's looking good for points if he just keeps out of trouble.
Yeah, 12th position, and he could even get that 11th. We see rain lights everywhere at the back of the cars as Sully goes very wide into the chicane. Now Matthias, he is getting close to the back of Bryn Mike, and we could see Matthias picking up some points for the Racing Point team, who has been really struggling for these points this season.
Yeah, we could get a double points finish for Giggle in a solid 8th place. I have to say, Giggle has struggled this season, but he's had a nice solid drive there, and he's catching the back of Dexter, so it may get better for him. We'll have a look at penalties for you, because that's a penalty interest situation, and at the moment, Ash Naughty...
As now Bryn Mike and Sully were battling, sorry for cutting you in there, but Sully was looking like he was going to take the inside going into turn 3, but he backed out at the last moment, which led Matthias to close up a lot. And will he go for the move here? He's getting very close to the back of him. Yes, he does. Ferrari v Racing Point, and Matthias is having a little bit of issues there on the traction, but that's him down the inside, and that's moved on for him. Killplane with another 3-second time penalty, so he will lose that podium.
That's a costly mistake for me. At the moment, that'll drop him down to 6th place. That's a costly penalty for kill playing, but Thomas doesn't care about that. He's been in complete command in this race. He's dominated it. He got pulled by half a second. He's led every single lap. And Thomas, it's great for him. He's going to build up a championship lead again. Thomas, will we take championship lead as he finds final corner? And Thomas is going to win for the 3rd time this season in Sochi.
Yeah, 3rd time this season, 3rd time in his career, and what a win for him it is at the Russian Grand Prix. Scorpion comes 2nd, but that's Astro finishing 2nd due to penalties. Epic Scorpion in 3rd position, just Mikey in 4th, Aero Specialist in 5th. And the gaps are really close here after penalties have been applied. Matthias with a 5-second time penalty after an unserved penalty, so that means he won't be getting the points. Killplane 6th, Dexter 7th, Trunders in 8th, Bryn Mike in a 9th position, Giggle with some crucial points for the Racing Point team, he gets 10th position, Truth NRP 11th, Sully in 12th, Matthias in 13th, Sir Gwyneth, disappointing race from him in 14th, Gazaman, another man, probably a mistake that he went on the medium compound of tyres. He finishes the race in 15th. Yarty Jordan on the intermediate compound of tyres. Don't think that was the best of strategies, but I mean, he couldn't really win anything or lose anything there, so he might as well just keep it safe. And then it was Hooky who finished last, and I don't think there was no retirement.
No, there wasn't, but no, there wasn't. Hooky did lag out, of course, but yeah, no official retirement. It's a first this season. That's good to see him on the track. Difficult conditions, the drivers. There was a few incidents here, guys. Did lose wing damage, but no actual incidents. As well done to Thomas, just an amazing drive. And Astronaut, he managed to hang on 2nd place. Didn't have the pace, but crucial for him, he avoided them penalties. So he got 1 penalty, but got less penalties guys around him. That enabled him to get back up 2nd place. Epic Scorpion keeps up his podium streak.
So it's a very good race for a lot of very good races for a lot of these drivers. Epic Scorpion going from 9th to 1st position, and in 9th to 3rd position, sorry. And just wanted to ask you, who is your driver of the day nominee?
You know what, I'm gonna go for just Mikey. He really good drive. As I round up the order for you, got just Mikey in 4th, Air Specialist in 5th, Killplane in 6th, Dexter 7th, Chunders 8th, Mike in 9th, Giggle 10th, Truth NRP 11th, and Sully 12th on the points. But I'm going to go for just Mikey because from 14th to 4th, he kept out of trouble. Another good race for him. He's improving all season long. I'm going to ask him, are you gutted to miss out the podium? And what has been this resurgence in form for you?
Yeah, it's a very good question. I saw that he's been looking quite good the past few races, and I was about to go for Epic Scorpion because I thought you were going to go for ERT Thomas, and then I remembered Scorpion had this big moment where he nearly bended in the wall, so I'm going to go with ERT Thomas. And my question for him will be, what is your secret with your race restarts, as you seem to nail them all the time?
So we've got the same 2 nominees as last week, so that's interesting. I'll mention fast laps as well. Obviously Thomas, he did get that fast lap inside the top 10, and outside the top 10 the fastest lap went to Matthias. So Matthias gets a fast lap outside top 10, so he does actually score a point, which is good. So both Racing Points do score points tonight.
Yeah, so good news for Racing Point, and I think they'll be over the moon with that. And yeah, it was a very good Grand Prix. I said that the Grand Prix was going to be good because there was a lot of doubters. They thought it was going to be a very bad Grand Prix, but we did prove them wrong in my opinion. I really enjoyed that one, and yeah, it was a pleasure to commentate over, especially after my 2 race break.
Yeah, apologies, Jordan got the fast lap outside the top 10. Yes, apologies, I didn't score down further. But yeah, it was a good race to be back, and points tier delivers yet again. Obviously, at the front it was maybe a bit obvious who's going to win, but behind us, action all around. And yeah, Sochi, a track not known for good racing. We did see some good racing tonight. A few controversial moments, but yeah, that was a great one. And obviously, at them, and I mentioned championship for you. At the moment, provisionally, Thomas will have a 10-point lead in championship over Killplane. So Thomas will be on 117 points, and Killplane on 107. Epic Scorpion will be on 74 points, just behind Lawrence in third place.
Yeah, with 10 points separating first and second, and with 2 rounds remaining, it's going to be very spicy at the end. Of course, next week is going to be La Castellette Circuit de Paul Ricard, or whatever you want to call it, France, the French Grand Prix, and another track that's boring in real life, but in my opinion does provide good racing in league racing. I think we might see some great action there. And if you have any last words, I'll end the stream.
Yeah, well, thank you for joining everybody. It's been a pleasure. Nice to have Carol back alongside me, and I hope you enjoy this race. Do check out the podium tier, which is live now. And as for that, we'll see you next week for the conclusion of the championship, the final 2 rounds. Don't miss it.